Employees do have the right to know. In 1983, the Minnesota State Legislature passed the Employee Right to Know Act. The act is intended to ensure that employees are aware of the hazards that they may be exposed to in their workplace. In addition to evaluating the workplace, the employer is required to provide appropriate training and written information regarding hazardous substances and harmful physical agents. It is the employee's responsibility to ask questions when in doubt regarding any part of their job. Employees have a conditional right to refuse work if they are in imminent danger or if they are not given the required information and training for that specific job. MnDOT employees perform a vast variety of job skills. Whether it be in the dead of winter, spring, middle of summer, or fall, every job requires being aware of the hazards that may be involved. Each employee is responsible for their personal safety. If ever in doubt while performing your job, ask for proper training. Many jobs require certain personal protective equipment necessary to perform the job safely. Stop and think. It is of utmost importance to be prepared for your workday. Chemical agents are all around us, and new chemicals are introduced every day. All chemical agents have the potential to cause serious injury or illness when safe operating procedures are not followed. Chemicals, solvents, fuels, and other petroleum products are very commonly used in our workplace and must be handled properly. Whether it be the spraying of herbicides, application of AC, RC, or MC with a tar kettle, or using products for the maintenance of our equipment and buildings, all require a working knowledge for safe handling and an awareness of the specific hazards of the product. All products, if handled properly, can make our jobs easier. Pre-planning for any job should include safety, the use of proper protective clothing, and safe job procedures. Proper labeling of hazardous substances gives an overview of the hazards involved and refers the user to the appropriate material safety data sheet for additional information. Proper labeling also ensures that you know what is in the container and are not just guessing. The use of a container such as this is an improper method of labeling. Is it gasoline, diesel fuel, or mineral spirits? Material safety data sheets are documents that give information about the chemical nature of materials, their physical properties, their potential to produce illness or injury, appropriate protective measures, emergency spill procedures, and disposal information, as well as fire and explosion data. Section 1 includes the manufacturer's name, address, phone number, as well as the material's chemical name, trade name synonyms, chemical family, and chemical formulas. This information is very critical to know when evaluating the hazards of that specific product. Section 2 lists all the ingredients which comprise 1% or more of the weight of the product and indicates the potential hazards of each ingredient in a threshold limit value. This information is also valuable when evaluating the product's potential hazards. Section 3 describes the physical properties such as boiling point, specific gravity, and evaporation rate. The appearance and odor of the material is also included. Section 4 includes the fire and explosion data on the product. The flash point, which indicates the ease of ignition, is a very critical factor to know when storing and using flammable liquids which have a flash point of less than 100 degrees Fahrenheit, or combustible liquids which have a flash point of 100 degrees Fahrenheit or above. Also included are the proper firefighting procedures and equipment. Section 5 contains information on the health effects of the material. The threshold limit value, TLV, is listed. A TLV is the maximum allowable exposure which any individual may be exposed to a specific chemical for 8 hours per day or 40 hours per week without harmful health effects. Also included are symptoms of overexposure and first aid procedures. Section 6 contains information on the stability of the product and what materials are incompatible with this product. Be aware of what products are potentially dangerous if mixed together. Section 7 contains information on the appropriate cleanup procedures and proper waste disposal methods. Larger spills have specific procedures to follow for Pollution Control Agency requirements. Section 8 recommends proper personal protection to be used or worn while working with the product. When in doubt of the necessary personal protection, refer to this section. Section 9 contains information on the proper storage, special hazards of the product, and special personal hygiene precautions. The physical agents that produce potential injury in the workplace include noise, heat, and radiation. We are all exposed to many sounds every day. When the intensity of this sound becomes too loud and/or prolonged, a loss of hearing may result. Wearing hearing protection properly while performing these specific high noise level jobs ensures each employee's personal protection. During the heat of midsummer, everyone has to be aware of the chance of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. While working with the blacktop paving equipment, an individual receives a compounding effect from both the sun and the heat of the blacktop. The sun is a source of ultraviolet radiation and can cause severe burns if you do not use proper personal protection. Here again, knowing the potential dangers and protecting yourself from the hazard is your responsibility. Many jobs require personal protective devices to avoid undue risks to the employee. Specific jobs require specific types of personal protective equipment to ensure your personal safety. When doing oxygen acetylene cutting, proper eye and foot protection should be worn as well as proper clothing. Sandblasting requires a special air-supplied hood, filtering system, leather gloves, and good quality protective clothing. It is up to each individual to use the appropriate personal protective devices when they are required. Your protection is only as effective as you want it to be. Safety in the workplace is the responsibility of both employer and employee. Careful labeling of all materials and proper awareness of potentially hazardous physical agents is essential. The availability of material safety data sheet information to employees is a very necessary part of keeping everyone informed. Finally, training employees in the proper handling of materials in their work areas must be carried out and periodically updated so that everyone is aware of potential hazards and safe operating procedures of new and old products being used on the job. Employees must remember it is their responsibility to ask questions when in doubt and make sure they receive an appropriate answer to their questions. Always remember the Minnesota Department of Transportation creed. No job is so important in maintenance or construction, and no service so urgent that we cannot take the time to perform our work safely. You do have the right to know how to work safely. Take care of yourself. You're important to us.